Hey, what's up, my little TisaTellss? How y'all doing today? And what's up, Sussex Squad? Listen, the game is afoot. If you guys don't know, Harry dropped everything on the royal court yesterday, calling out William, calling out Charles, dragging Camilla. You know I was here for it, but you guys, there's still so many unanswered questions. Let me bring you guys up to speed if you haven't seen my other videos. If you do, please watch it. You guys, one, even though Harry's been suing Murdoch Group and all this stuff, and the papers have been making this big show about how dare Meghan sue, how dare Harry sue, how dare. Well, guess what? William, the other brother, not only sued them, but secretly settled with the paper for $1 million, it's being reported. Charles and Camilla were trading stories about everybody, just so they could get better stories. What's more, right? What's more, they actively encouraged Harry not to sue. And the reason that Harry can sue now, that he's hoping the High Court lets it go, is the fact that they violated their agreement to give Harry an apology back in 2012. And because they violated the agreement, the deal's off. You guys, we have all that. I have my suspicions. I'm going to talk about it. I do think Rose Hanbury is at the center of it, because around the time that they settled and William started actively throwing Harry under the bus, even going as far as to send Jason Knopf to testify against Meghan on behalf of those tabloids. Around the time this happened, so did the Rose Hanbury story happen. But you guys, there's more to it. Because you know what I want to know? You guys always know what I want to know, the messiest angle. Who is the leak? If I was William and if I was Camilla, Charles, Kate, I would be terrified of one thing. Yeah, I know Harry's coming with both, but listen, they all knew that was coming. Who's the leak? Who is the leak? Again, you guys, let's put this in perspective. There was a story that came out about how Meghan, emailed the king and all this stuff, and all of a sudden, and Meghan clapped back. And I was like, yo, this has to be Meghan leaking this, because, and it's no shade to leaking. Use the press for what they're worth, right? But as y'all said, Meghan doesn't leak. And you guys were right. She doesn't leak, right? But the reason why I thought it was somebody in Meghan's camp is because that article was so damaging to Charles. A lot of you guys were like, oh my God, Charles doesn't want to look for him. No. He doesn't even want that conversation to come up before the coronation. He's like paranoid. It didn't make Charles look good. It didn't make William look good. But it made Meghan and Harry look really, really well. Meghan and Harry was like, don't come over here with that mess. It was not us. So I asked you, who was the leak? How did Harry find out about the settlement? And even if he found out for the settlement, hinted at it through lawyers, how did he find out that it was a substantial financial amount when William himself tried to keep it secret? And William didn't even tell Harry that he had a lawsuit that he settled. So who gave Harry this information to put in court documents? If you guys don't know, all settlements are confidential. They do that because they don't want you to be like, well, William got $1 million, I want $1.5 million. And they do it to save themselves. So who is the leak? This is the takeaway for the story. There is a leak in the royal houses, and someone highly does not like William, Charles, Camilla, or Kate. Who's leaking this? Someone is. We know it's not Harry and Meghan, but it seems to be someone that can't stand Kensington Palace, Clarence House, or the Wales House, whatever they're calling themselves. Again, William didn't know Harry knew about the settlement. They wouldn't have. This is huge. On top of that, they are calling for Charles to address the nation to put them at ease. Now, I will say one thing. This is a Virgo's revenge. And all they can do is say, well, guess what? Harry's place in the coronation is not confirmed. Harry already said he was going. Harry doesn't care if you sit him in the first, second, or 12th row. You can sit him outside. The damage has been done. Harry's going to be sitting there looking at you with your robes almost falling over. If you guys don't know, they said they're going to have to put in a special ramp for Charles and Camilla to walk up because the robes are too heavy for them, right? Can you imagine? Anyway, Harry's going to be sitting there with an ish-eating grin on his face, knowing that he brought all this drama to your door. But let's get into this mess about the William thing. Again, you guys, who leaked this? Let's not forget the recap for 2020, 2021. That story from Rose Hanbury popped up. And then just that quick, it was what they call it is like, I think catch and kill. That's where newspaper outlets chase down a salacious story, get everything going. Then they go to the person that the story's about, usually a high profile person, and say, listen, we have it on good authority that, you catch all the unicorns and make them in the stew, and we're going to release it to the unicorn lovers of America. You're over. And since that person is so high profile, they say, no, please don't let people know I like unicorn stew. So they say, okay, we'll, dead this article, but you got to give us something in return. It's basically akin to modern, extortion, basically. Only they throw a little something saying, oh, we'll give you a few good stories too, but you got to keep feeding the mouth, the lion. William was set to take them to court. He was so mad at them. Then out of the blue, for no reason, he decided to quietly settle for a sizable amount. What did they have over William? Could it be something that grows in the garden? Rose Hanbury? I don't know. Now, they're saying that Harry and Meghan, in 2020, 2021, Harry and Meghan moved to California. Prince William's senior aide helps the male's defense against Meghan's copyright lawsuit. That was Jason Knopf. Listen, this is after Meghan won the first time. In an unprecedented event, for their appeal, William gave Jason Knopf permission to go and testify against his sister-in-law and a senior royal and help the tabloids. We should have known something was up then. Doesn't it not sound that they have something on William? He also received a secret phone hacking settlement from NGN. That's Rupert Murdoch's group. Now, William's staff also at that same time made bullying claims against Meghan in the NGN-owned Times. Let's also not forget that while that was going on, Meghan's miscarriage from her second pregnancy due to stress from the Daily Mail's case and the case in which William was helping the Daily Mail against Meghan. The Daily Mail's lawyers accidentally CC'd Meghan's lawyers the private emails they were exchanging, right, with the Kensington Palace staff. However, Harry was told shortly before his and Meghan's wedding that nothing could be done. Who was he told that? By Gerald Tyrrell, who Harry said was the institution's lawyer taking direction from Clarence House. He said, this is in his court papers, shortly before the wedding, we were informed by Jared that nothing could be done as NGN were not in a position to apologize to the Queen and the rest of the royal family at that stage on account of the fact that if they did so, they'd have to admit that not only was the News of the World involved in phone hacking, but also the Sun. And that was something they couldn't afford to do until the end of the litigation because it would seriously undermine their settlement strategy across all the other claims. He says that this conversation took place between Charles' communications secretary, Mrs. Brake. Again, he said the institution was incredibly nervous about this and wanted to avoid at all costs the sort of reputational damage that it had suffered in 1993 when The Sun and another tabloid had unlawfully obtained and published details of an intimate telephone conversation, that's Tampax-gate, that took place between my father and Camilla in 1989 while he was still married to my mother. This agreement included promises from the NGN for delayed resolution. Pay attention, it's important. Was obviously a major factor as to why no claim was made or brought at the time for me. Now here's the thing. NGN is saying, right, They're not saying that anything Harry's saying is a lie. They're saying that Harry waited too long to pursue this. And because of that, he shouldn't be allowed. Harry's response, which is a strong legal argument, is to say, no. We agreed from a 2012 case that I would not take action if you guys gave me an apology at a later date. I met with, I think it was Rebecca Brooks, I believe it was, right? I met with Rebecca Brooks and another senior person from the news group to ask formally for my apology. It was a meeting arranged with Rebecca Brooks, the chief executive of Murdoch's News UK, and Robert Thompson, the global head of News Corp. And that meeting went nowhere. They refused to apologize to Harry publicly. Harry says because the News of the UK failed to upload its side of the secret agreement when he sought this apology in 2017, that this whole contract should be null and void. Now, let me tell you why that's so genius. You know why they refused to apologize? Because they thought they had Harry right where they wanted them. Think about it. Charles and Camilla were throwing Meghan and Harry under the bus. William was trading everything he could, throwing Meghan and Harry under the bus. They thought that Harry and Meghan had no recourse. The papers were making so much money off of them. They didn't count on a little angel named Tyler Perry coming in. They thought they really had them where they wanted them, and there was absolutely no recourse. So what happened? What happened because of that? Well, they got high and mighty. Harry demanded an apology by the legal agreement. They thought they had Harry by the short and Harry's, excuse the pun, and they said no. And Harry says that nullified the contract. Now, again, this is crazy. He also highly suggests that William is compromised. He says, my view is how can anybody possibly trust or be influenced by or accept a media organization that enjoys the liberties of free press when its senior executives and board cover up the truth by making false denials, i.e. lying, concealing documents, creating fake email chains, and destroying evidence, including both emails and computer hardware, and then have the gall to try to strike out people's legitimate claims on the basis that they should have known they had a claim much earlier. How on earth could these people have known the extent of their claims when NGA has gone to such great lengths to conceal the truth and destroy evidence? When they have the powers that they have, and where even the police and the government of the day are scared to hold them accountable or seek justice against them, they can truly believe they are above the law. And they're above the law, then it's the general public that continues to suffer. It's really that simple. Now, if you guys are wondering why the news son of the world hacked William and Harry so much, well, the royal news and gossip was a staple of their output. But their problem was, in 2006 and 2010, the younger members of the family, who the public was most interested in, wouldn't cooperate because they were furious that they blamed the press for their mother's death. The royal reporters were also mostly middle-aged men in suits. Now they're old men in suits who wouldn't exactly blend in at the London night spots the young couple hung out at. So they turned to phone hacking of the family themselves, their girlfriends, their girlfriends' friends, anything they could do. You guys, this is explosive. Rupert Murdoch and the next constitutional head of state had a secret deal, a settlement allegedly involving a very large sum of money. This is not a good look. It is explosive. It is crazy to think. And it is all true. Let's not forget that the Rose Hanbury affair rumor started in 2019. William settled in 2020. People are saying that they bought William something and that he was forced to settle, or if not, he would have taken them to court. Imagine the gall these people for years dragging Meghan over her standing up for her rights against these tabloids that have invaded everybody's rights. Imagine doing all that. And at the end of the day, you struck the future head of state. You struck a deal with them. You guys, this is disgraceful. It is pathetic, but it is exactly what I expect from them. You guys, heads are rolling. It was illegal. William helped them. Charles helped them. And not only that, they got in the way of everybody else that had legitimate claims. You guys, listen. Turn on your notifications. There's more coming. All right? We're going to unpack this. But you guys, this is explosive. And I love it. All right, y'all. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm going to drop another video today. Turn your comments on.